Simon, it was a fantastic effort at the Shea last Friday night against the world champions St Helens, ultimately bowing out of the Betfred Challenge Cup in the 6th round. But how pleased are you and how proud are you of your team and the way they performed that night?
Yeah, very. I think we've spoke numerous times throughout the year around effort and how important that is, and I thought we didn't disappoint there, did we? And come away with our heads held high, which was the important part. But like any game, we still look at it and analyse it and what could we have done better, and there was a lot in it we could have done better. We conceded a few average tries, and bombed a few opportunities, and obviously against opposition like St Helens you're not going to get too many chances. So yeah, we learnt a bit out of it. It was good. I think they knew they were in a game. Great to have St Helens down at the Shea, first time in a long time, and a snippet of what it used to look like, and who knows, hopefully what it will look like again in the future.
You spoke during the week leading up to that game about the need to sort of replicate the previous meeting between the two sides in the 2019 semi-finals. Do you feel like you matched or even bettered that performance with Friday's game?
I don't remember that conversation, but I think we replicated the effort and endeavoured to stay at it until the end, and obviously got a reward by staying at it with Bobby's try there at the end. So yeah, I don't think you can ask for more than having a dig against the world champions and not disgracing yourselves, and I don't think we did that. Costly game, a couple of injuries in amongst, but that's why we've got a squad.
We'll come on to those injuries shortly. Like you say, lots of positives to come out of it. Halifax was the talk of rugby league for the effort that we put in, but maybe one sour note was that Jacob Fairbank's come away with a 2-match and a 1-match suspension that will run concurrently. And what are your views on those incidents, and do you agree with the rulings?
Yeah, disappointing. I think 1 game's for dangerous contact. Bobby's weight comes down on the back of I can't remember which player it was, legs. I think it's wholly unintentional, and sometimes you will land on people and whatnot, but if they feel they could have done a better job of it and mitigated the risk to that person, I get it. And the second one was for a shove on Joey Lussick in the back, and look, he's fine. He don't stay down. There's nothing wrong with him, but it's just the way it is now. And if someone's neck goes into flexion, you're asking for a ban. It's on Bob, really. Bob shouldn't have done it. I don't think the punishment fits the crime, but I understand that they're pretty black and white, or as black and white as they can be, and it fits within that grading boundary, and that's just how it is. Obviously, Bob's got previous on his record for misdemeanours, so that doesn't help him either. But yeah, it is what it is, and I'm not complaining, and it's not ideal. Don't necessarily wholly agree, but I can see their point.
You mentioned there slightly injuries. We saw Joe Keys leave the field after 5 minutes with what looks like I think it's a suspected torn pectoral muscle. I think Lachlan Walmsley came down a bit awkward, had to be strapped up, Reeby Dorrell limping. Can you give us an update, firstly on Joe's diagnosis, and then any other injuries that came from that St Helens game?
We're still sort of fact-finding, really. So Keezy has got a tear in his pec, and now it's to what extent is the next bit. He's going to go see a consultant and see what the future holds there and how long that layoff is. At the moment, he looks quite well, but they can be quite deceiving, I suppose, these injuries, and we'll see what happens with that. Hopefully, it's shorter than it is long, but ultimately, these things happen, and it's just another opportunity for someone else. We will miss him though. He's been really good for us. But other than that, yeah, look, you listed a couple there. That's amongst others as well that have picked up bits in that game, and to be fair, a few of them carried stuff into that game. So there's a check to be had tonight to see where they're at, but there's people ready and waiting that they want to have a crack at it. So if there are injuries, it's just an opportunity for someone else, and we'll go into this week with the best team we can put on the field, the best team that's right for this job, and we'll have a good go of it regardless.
So it was a fantastic big event, big feel to it, big game atmosphere. Is it good to sort of back that up after a game like the Saints Cup game, to go to the Summer Bash, big event? It's going to be shown live on our league. The fans get over there. It's their day out. All the championship clubs. Is that a good time to go to the Bash? A big event after a big event, so to speak, so you can keep that intensity high?
Yeah, I mean, spoke after about the desire and want level was really high, and I can tweak some things around trying to motivate him, but ultimately it's within them as individuals to come and bring it and demand it of each other as well, and that's something we'll speak about this week. But yeah, going from big game to big game is good. It's taxing on the body, but it's also, you know, a really good challenge again to back up against Batley, who are in good form, really good team. And yeah, for us, we just have to control what we can. I mean, we've mentioned the injuries and stuff. There's absolutely no excuses coming out of us. We've got able people to jump in and do the job. And I think last time we played Batley, we might have had Woody at half, Kyle, and did a really good job there, which obviously shows we can do it. We're not a one-man team in the end. So yeah, we're just looking forward to the next one now. Sometimes when you go well, you can't wait to get back out on the field. So get through train tonight, see what the team looks like, see what decisions we have to make, and see who's healthy. Yeah, and then we'll get ready for a big one on Sunday.
What are you expecting Batley to bring? Obviously that industrious style that they have, they never go away. I think we have to come from behind to beat them at the Shea earlier in the season. You must be expecting a tough battle from Craig Lingard's side.
Yeah, I think that could come across as being a bit disrespectful towards them, industrious, and they just do what they do. They've got a style of play that suits them, which is what everyone has to find. But I think they're really disciplined in making sure they knock it off, and there is that attitude which is great of they will stay in it and they will be there until the end, but it takes discipline to do that, which is something I admire about their team. They do stick to the task really well. But look, they've got a big forward pack. Benny White's doing a great job, as is Josh Woods. James Meadows does a great job for him as well. I believe Hooley's probably going to be there. He played there last week. I'd imagine we'll prepare that he's going to be there. Very good fullback, done a great job at Championship over the last couple of years, and he'll slot straight back in out there playing, won't he? So a lot of threats across the field, and you know, we'll have to be on it really. It'll be a physical game, that's for sure. But again, we'll control what we can, and hopefully we can put our best foot forward and deliver a disciplined game plan ourselves.
Yeah, we seemed to match St Helens, a bit of a closer game. I think they went to Huckington Rovers and suffered quite a heavy defeat. I think a 50-0 in the cup. Expecting a bit of a backlash from them and wanting to put things right from that result?
Probably not, no. I think, yeah, they lost, it's not nice, but at the end of the day that's the expectation, isn't it, that we get beat by them regardless of the score. I think for them their last two league games have been really good, tight wins, so that I'm expecting them just to fall back into that. You know, when you go in battle, it hardens you up a bit, and you end up becoming really hard to beat. And I think the 50-0 against the Super League team is probably a bit of a blip, and they'll jump back into that form, so we have to be good.
And finally then, building up to the game, we've seen highlights of previous bashes and the fans really getting behind these events. I think you yourself were involved in one of those videos with a nice flick pass back in 2017. What do you make of these events? Are you for them? Are you happy to see the crowds get there and really get behind them? Are you a fan of the Summer Bash?
Yeah, there's a lot of questions within that question, but Nick actually mentioned that video had gone out earlier. Yeah, I had a bit of skill, I just couldn't run anymore. But no, I think the Bash is a great concept. I thought it was really successful over at Blackpool. I mean, I don't know the actual numbers, I'm not watching the crowd, but in terms of the feel and when you're on the pitch or coaching there, I thought it was really good. I thought Leeds was probably not a bad idea, but it's a very big stadium and it felt a little bit empty a bit last year, I thought. So going to a smaller ground which is quite tight and close, I think it'll be good over at York, and I think it's good. It showcases what rugby league is, family sport. You know, football, you're not seeing multiple teams sat in amongst each other, having a beer and having a bit of a crack about what's in front of them. We're all competitive and cheer our teams on, but I think, you know, we're a pretty honest sport in that regard, so I think that's a really good reflection of our game. That's why I think Bash is good, along with Magic as well. And they've got the Magic round at the NRL now, they've took that, and that looks great as well on TV. So yeah, I think it's a nice spectacle, and you've got to have them, haven't you? I think we can all complain about the loop game and the value of it, or the argument around opposition. Some people get what you might say is an easier run than others, but it is what it is. You get told you play on this date against these, so we'll just get on with it regardless. But I do think it's a positive in our calendar, and it's just something we probably have to tweak to get right, and maybe not be so happy to chop and change if York's successful. Maybe it's York for now then.